G'day, it's Mel Lathuris here from fearlesssinger.com. So last week we spoke about tapping, the power of tapping and how we can use that to overcome our fear of singing in front of people. And I have to be honest with you, I just had to do a tapping session around doing this video. It's funny how there's some weeks when, making a video or writing a blog post or practicing for that performance seems pretty easy, and then other weeks it seems really bloody hard. So I use that same technique to release, I guess, the resistance and the block I had around actually filming this. And let's just see if it works. So far, so good. So this week we're going to talk about another mindset topic, and that is the very, very powerful combination of two things. One, making a commitment towards reaching a goal, and two, taking consistent action towards that goal. So write those two words down: commitment and consistency. I just want to preface a couple of things. One, if I seem to be squinting a lot, it's because I'm still trying to get used to this new light system with the camera. So forgive me for making a lot of looks during this episode. And the second thing I also want to mention too is that, we will be talking about singing technique in these episodes, and I'm looking to interview some really well-known singing teachers here in Brisbane and around the world to give a lot of great insight into vocal science. But I'm particularly passionate about mindset because I feel like it's something as singing teachers and singers, we don't really talk about it as much. And yet it's so bloody important in terms of removing these blocks that we have about something that is extremely personal to us, our voice. And removing the blocks so that we can start building this instrument of ours and learning to play it at the same time. Because essentially our brain pretty much calls the shots. Now back to the topic of commitment and consistency and how this can actually apply to you in your singing practice. Listen, take it from me, there is nothing more powerful than getting out a piece of paper and actually writing down a tangible goal with a very specific time frame. So for instance, if you're a beginner singer, that could be working on 2 songs. So learning 2 songs within a 2-month period. So you could say, I'm working towards singing in front of my friends and family at my studio concert, which is in 2 months' time, and I would like to do 2 jazz songs absolutely beautifully and polished. And I want to feel a sense of accomplishment, and I want to feel proud of myself. I think that's the key thing there. Write down how you want to feel. So there's that, but also another aspect of commitment is to carve out time in your day, make space for this to happen. So when it comes to singing practice, that could be as little as half an hour a day. 15 minutes of vocal technique in the morning, 15 minutes of vocal technique practice in the afternoon. Start small and then build up from there. But just know that that's a non-negotiable for yourself. So put that in your diary, make a reminder in your phone or an alarm that says, at this time, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to do this practice, or I'm going to listen to 2 different versions of that song that I love. Also, start to recognize any excuses that may come up. So you might say to yourself, you know what, I would really love to work on my singing voice. I'd love to be able to sing in front of an audience one day. But I just don't find that I have time ever. I work all day, I come home, I look after kids, and then, there's no time. Look, that is, honestly, I genuinely feel for you because I know what it's like to be extremely busy. But just start to recognize that that is just an excuse, and perhaps it may help you to do a time audit of your week, because you'll find that there are gaps. You may, for instance, lie on the couch. I lie on this couch and look at Instagram and then go, oh, whoa, I've been on this for 2 hours. So that's 2 hours that you could have been using towards whatever your goal is. So do a time audit on yourself, and start believing that there is an abundance of time. That again is just a belief, a story that we tell ourselves that we're busy. And if we really, really want something to happen, we can make the time. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a big chunk of time every day that we're committing towards this goal. It could be as small as 15 minutes to half an hour. So start with that first, and then gradually you'll gain momentum, and then you'll find more time freeing up during the week that you can actually put towards your goal. I'm by no means bragging about this, but I pretty much have 4 jobs. So I work full-time as a high school teacher. I teach singing as part of my Fearless Singer studio. I do these video blogs and blog posts, and I perform. I gig nearly every week as a jazz singer. And look, I don't have kids, and I'm sure that if I did, it would be perhaps a different story. But I could very easily buy into the story of, oh, I'm so busy and yada, 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 there's no time. But I don't, because this stuff exhilarates the shit out of me. I just want to do it because I love it. I love helping people discover their talents and discover just how freaking amazing they are. That's what motivates me. I love performing to an audience. I love being, I like to think that I'm funny, but I like making people laugh. So those things motivate me. Therefore, I don't buy into the story of, oh, flap, 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 I'm really, really busy. Don't have time for this or that. I choose to believe that there is an abundance of time. And you know what? There is for me. I managed to fit everything in, as well as my couch time, watching Netflix and also scanning Instagram at the same time. Okay. Let's do a recap. Let's go to the finish line of this video. If you've been with me for all this time, thank you. You're a bloody amazing person, I just got to get it out there. And I really genuinely hope this stuff has helped. We've covered so much material, but let's just break it down. So 2 things that are super powerful towards your success: commitment, making a tangible goal that is time specific, as well as mention the things that you want to feel as a result of making that goal come true. So that could be feeling proud about yourself, or it could be feeling exhilarated or connected to an audience. Whatever it is that you want to feel, write that down. And that's the important thing. Make sure you write it down in a journal or on a piece of paper. So commitment, goal, feel. Okay, the next step is then taking consistent action towards that goal and really breaking that down too. So make that a small time commitment every day. I think it's something that you really should do every day in small chunks of time so that you build momentum behind that goal. So start small. And if that means 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, that's fantastic. And then make the belief that there is an abundance of time. Make that real for you, because you'll start to realize that there are so many gaps in your week. Do a time audit and work out the times that you are actually spending, just doing idle things like on Instagram or writing emails, or maybe you're doing too much bloody cleaning, mate. That's been a problem of mine of late. And I've actually started delegating that towards someone. So I actually hire one of my friends to come in and clean for me. And that has released so much time and so much stress, which means I can focus on doing this. So whatever it is that you're doing too much of, maybe you can trade it for something else and then start doing the things that you actually want to do and start working towards your goals. Okay, so consistent action, make it small in the beginning. Create the belief for yourself there is an abundance of time, because that's the reality. There is an abundance of time and you can make time for the things that you want. Okay, another thing is non-negotiable time set in your day. So put it in your calendar. Give yourself a reminder. If someone calls you and says, hey, let's do coffee, or you want to catch up on Games of Thrones, but you've actually got time set to do your practice or whatever it is that you're working towards, don't accept the offer of the coffee. Just reschedule for another time that suits you. Your priority to do this is more important, to be honest. If it's Game of Thrones, why don't you just reschedule the Game of Thrones, the new season, for your holidays or after the goal is completed? So you can still make time for these things, but just put your goal, make that your number one priority. And like I said, the more you see yourself succeeding at making these small chunks of time a commitment, and you're doing it every day, then eventually you're going to want to do that more and more and more. So you start to trust yourself, and then great things happen as a result of that. And you start, just committing more and more to what it is that you want to achieve. So small chunks of time, make them non-negotiable. I know I'm repeating myself quite a lot right now, but I think that's important. And then after that, just keep working towards your goal and actually do it. And if, say for instance, some beliefs come up like, I'm not enough, I can't sing, whatever it is for you that comes up, know that you have a powerful tool called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, which is the tapping. I took you through a routine last week, at your disposal. And maybe I can make a separate video tapping on this one particular issue. Anyway, I hope all of this helps. I can't stress enough how powerful commitment followed by consistent actions are in creating the success that you want in your life. Anything is achievable, just chip away at it. And know too that before you get into action, start to do things that make you feel good. So for instance, before I did this video, like I said, I did the tapping session and it really cleared up any resistance around doing it. And it has, as a consequence, really flowed. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe so that you can get an instant notification to say that the next episode is available. I do plan on doing these weekly. And if you have an inkling already what your goal or project idea is that you're going to be working towards, please put it in the comments below so that we can all send each other good vibes and love. See you later, mate. Love ya.